great day here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's always a great day to taste wine. Hey everybody, it's Ron Bell from wines at the PNW.com, and I'm here today in Woodinville, Washington at Barrage Cellars, visiting with Kevin Correll. That's how you pronounce your name, right?
That is, yeah.
Want to make sure I got that right.
Yeah.
And it's Masters weekend, and I don't know if you golf.
I've been paying attention to it. I do a lot less golfing now that I own a winery.
I bet.
I used to golf quite a bit.
Well, I come here because last year I came out and I visited Barrage Cellars and I had a great time. Every wine was great. In fact, I was at the Taste of Washington this year, and the buzz about your wine was all over the place. I can tell you other winemakers are talking about you, so that's always a good sign.
That is always a good sign if your peers like it.
If your peers like it, yeah. And actually, I was at a winery over here. Last time I was up here at another winery, and he was drinking your wine behind the bar. So getting a lot of good buzz here. So,
cool.
So really happy to be here. Thanks for inviting us.
You bet.
I have a question though.
All right.
Other than wine, tell us something about yourself that most people your friends probably might not even know about you.
I actually grew up in the racehorse business.
Racehorse business.
Yeah, my dad was a breeder and trainer of thoroughbreds up and down the West Coast, and up until, well, I guess for about 4 or 5 years, I actually had my own trainer's license and trained horses out at Long Acres. And,
wow. Long Acres, folks, is a place that's no longer here in the Seattle area, right?
Correct. Yeah, they tore it down, and Boeing built a bunch of buildings there.
Boeing took it off, took it over, but it's a racetrack out. So you did work there too, huh?
Yeah, I actually had my trainer's license and took advice from my dad, and he told me tough business, go get a real job. So
so you went into wine?
No, so back in 1988, I hired into Boeing, and I've been there pretty much ever since.
Wow.
This is my plan B.
Plan B?
Yeah, because you know how that business can be cyclical, and we're kind of going through it right now. So
well, it's a good plan B because you're making some great wine.
Thank
so why don't you tell us how you started making wine?
I actually started out about 1996 just as a home winemaker.
Wow.
And first year I did about 15 gallons, and just kind of just multiplied from there, and thought it was a pretty cool industry. Drank a lot of wine, and then about 2001, 2002, I helped a couple wineries out, just doing crush, bottling, kind of volunteered stuff, and kind of got more into it. And then I had a winery kind of extend their hand out and said, well, if you help us out, we'll let you make a couple barrels here, and just kind of took off from there.
Nice.
So
now, Barrage, I read on your website, is a combination of garage and barn, right?
Garage and barn. So the first years that I made wine was in my garage, just like a lot of brewers and other winemakers here. And then the first 2 professional vintages was a barn that was converted into a winery. And so I thought I was being real tricky and threw barn and garage together, and we came up with Barrage.
It's a great name.
Wanted to do something a little different than using the last name.
Right. Yeah. So now you focus a lot on single varietals.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, and tell us about your favorite. Do you have a favorite varietal that you like, that you tend to gravitate towards?
I really like making Cab Franc because it's unique, but I can't really say just Cab Franc. I really find that I make a pretty big Merlot, and I really like when people come in and say, wow, that's a Merlot. So, Cab Sauv is obviously a good seller, so, it's there. So I wouldn't say I have a favorite, but the one that's kind of fun for me is Cab Franc.
Cab Franc.
Just because it's so unique here in Washington.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that are making great Cab Franc, and I like to think of myself as one of those guys.
Now, you you're sole owner, and you're the single. This is a one-man shop. So
pretty much, yeah. Got the girlfriend out there running the front of the house, and
of course, you gotta have her.
All my suppliers like her because she pays the bills. But yeah, so she's a partner in the business. But as far as back here, pretty much a one-man show. Other than I get a couple interns from time to time.
Right. So how and where do you source your fruit from?
So I think we got about 6 different vineyards right now. Most of them are long-term contracts, specific rows. So just thinking off the top of my head, we get Connerly Chardonnay, Cabernet, and we got a little Cab Franc this year from Connerly site. We've worked with other sites, but I'd say my mainstays are Connerly Red Willow. We get pretty much everything that I make from Red Willow other than Chardonnay. Let me think. Boucher's a big player in our group with Cab Franc. Syrah, and then this year we finally brought in some Merlot. I've been kind of hounding Dick for some Merlot for a while.
Nice.
And then let's see, Destiny Ridge is a big one.
Yeah.
We use Sheridan. Trying to think. Another big vineyard that I'm starting to use a lot of is Obelisco Vineyard, and I'm doing a little side project with them where I'm making their white wines also.
And where are they located?
They're actually on Red Mountain.
And Red Mountain.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love Red Mountain.
So,
Red Mountain's got some.
They're the vineyard right next to Hedges.
Okay, cool.
So.
Excellent. So tell us about your current release.
Current release, we just released 2 wines last week to our wine club. They're not actually available to the public right now.
Okay.
It's our 2010 Outcast, which is 100% Cab Franc from Red Willow and Boucher. And then I released a wine called Eclipse, which is 100% Syrah, and it's a single vineyard from Red Willow.
Nice.
All done in New Oak on that one. So those are the current brand new releases that a few of our folks are out there enjoying right now. And we've got the 09 Outcast still on the table, 10 Chardonnay, 11 Riesling. So.
No Cabernet this release?
Oh, no, that'll be a little bit later in the year. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's sitting there
still
maturing,
working?
but
Still-
yeah.
okay,
So
got it.
the cab will come out probably the end of summer.
Got it.
Yeah.
That was my favorite last time.
Oh,
I was here.
thanks.
Everyone was great.
Yeah.
So, well, tell us about the winery here and the hours and how people can get
Cool.
your wine.
Well, we're up in the Warehouse District, which everyone kind of seems to think all of the wineries are, down in the St. Michel area, but there's a lot of great little wineries up in the north part of Woodinville. It's not quite as pretty down there, but everything happens here. We've got the tasting room, as you can see, the barrels. Other than growing the grapes, everything is done right here in this spot. So we're up off from the Woodinville Duval Road in Woodinville Park North in Suite E 800. We're clear down at the bottom. And we're open Saturday and Sunday 1 to 5.
1 to 5, great.
Yeah. And then I'll do some private stuff too.
Great.
Usually Friday nights.
So if you want something private, contact Kevin. He'll help you out. Great wine, folks. I'm telling you, try this. Come out to Woodinville and visit Kevin and all the other great wineries. Don't forget to check out my wine website, which is www.winesofthepnw.com, and tell me what you're drinking tonight. Thanks, folks.